Insatiable, or should I say, fat shameable. No, I'd rather just tell you guys to get the fuck over your sensitive asses. I mean, look at this. Before it was even released, about 100,000 people had already signed for it to be cancelled when having only seen the trailer. And now, a month later, the numbers are still growing. What the hell? Okay, so Insatiable is a new dark comedy show on Netflix. The lead role is a victim of bullying due to her overweight, but as she gets knocked out by a homeless guy, she ends up getting her jaw broken and lives off a liquid diet or something and loses about 70 pounds. And with her new body and newfound confidence, she strives to seek revenge on everybody who contributed to her bullying. A well amount of the audience has taken offense to the show's satirical ways of approaching serious topics. The show got lots of attention from the trailer only, and I just so happen to believe that if it wasn't for the reaction to the trailer, it wouldn't have been as talked about. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong about the trailer, but you know, nowadays people always find some way to get triggered no matter what it's about. And this trailer sure did trigger a lot of people with a lack of humor and confidence. But here goes to one of the messages of the show: don't judge a book by its cover. In this case, I guess you could say don't judge a show by its trailer. Or is that not a good comparison? Maybe not. Maybe not then, okay? Anyways, I guess by now you might have figured out that I'm on the side that says no, it's not fat shaming. I don't think you can evaluate a show's message by characters' opinions and ideas. For instance, there's a moment in episode 9 where the character Bob Armstrong says,
bisexuals are like demons or aliens, they don't exist.
Does this mean that the show is saying that bisexuality does not exist? No, it's saying that the character Bob Armstrong is not convinced that it's an actual thing. If you'll try to tell me otherwise, then let me just go by the same logic and show you this clip.
To show people that beauty comes in all shapes and sizes.
If you watch the show and actually give it a chance, you'll see that it isn't fat shaming. Sure, some characters talk negatively about being overweight, but others don't. It's just as the real world. Some people have opinions and they talk and express themselves. There's really nothing you can do about it. Do you really want to go about with a sign like, okay, I don't even have to sign. That should say enough. I was about to say, do you want to go with a sign saying trigger, trigger? So every time you see something you don't like, you're going, trigger, trigger, I'm triggered. Is that what you want? Do you really think that it's that unlikely for an overweight person to want to lose some weight? I mean, do you get triggered if an obese person wants to lose weight or if an anorexic person struggles to eat? It's ridiculous. Wake up. Wake up from the mind control. I don't even want to say it, but it's the I word, man. I know I'll get demonetized if I even mention it. Come on. It starts with an I and ends with an I. Whoa. That sounded like I were literally talking about, like, eyeballs. Not that kind of balls. Okay, I'm getting off track right now. So if people are no longer allowed to make movies that might offend someone, then what would that bring? I can tell you, a plain and boring future with a lack of originality, as all movies have to be the same, but have to have the same neutral formula. Avoid having topics and write lines that aren't opinionated. Yeah. Hell yeah, this is a banger, man. Wait. Is it possible someone could get offended by this? And why can't I hear myself? Oh well.
Hi,
Hi.
what are you doing?
Oh, I was just listening to some music.
Isn't that kind of offensive?
Well, yeah, I guess.
You know, some people don't even have that privilege.
I guess I'll just watch a movie then. I love this one. Especially this part. Never seen anything like it. This all reminds me of the reaction to 13 Reasons Why, and this is so funny if you had seen the behind the scenes right now. But yeah, it reminds me of 13 Reasons Why. If you thought 13 Reasons Why romanticized suicide, well then I didn't expect much from you anyways. But if you didn't, if you actually gave it a chance, then shouldn't you give this show a chance as well? That's only fair. The show has two overall topics, being sexuality and body image. So I'd say that there's been some misconceptions about what the show were trying to say. As I mentioned, some people have seen the show as being fat shaming, making it seem like fat equals loser and skinny equals winner. However, after watching the first season, I would say this conception should be debunked. From my experience, it seems like there's three overall messages of the show. One that comes across all the time is that revenge doesn't necessarily bring satisfaction, and it's more like adding fuel to the fire, so to speak. The characters are egotistical and constantly seeking revenge on everybody they feel wronged by, and whenever they do so, karma ends up biting them in the foot. Is that what you say? At least you get the point. Karma comes to him and it just builds up more and more problems. If you get revenge on someone, they want revenge on you, and rah 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 rah. Another very important message is that beauty comes in all forms and sizes, and you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. There's 12 episodes, each lasting about 45 minutes. I personally have this thing where I'll only watch a movie or series whenever I'm eating, meaning that I'd watch an episode a day, which worked just fine with this show. I wasn't eager to go watch the next episode until I came to the final 4 episodes, where the excitement would peak to a point where I just had to see what would happen next. I'd count that as a minus. Sure, it's nice not to feel the need to binge watch it, but there's something wrong if the suspense takes so long to arise. Throughout the whole season there was little to no character development at all. Sure, in the first episode Patty goes from being fat to having the ideal body, and with a bit of makeup she gets a boost in confidence. But no matter how much the characters goes through and how many life lessons they get thrown on a plate, they just don't change. Sure, we learn about the characters as the story builds up. The story builds up, not the characters. That's a problem, you know. They don't have this point of self-realization where they just have a change of character. And that's kind of needed if you ask me. Okay, there is a few persons that builds on themselves. An alcoholic goes to rehab and a gay person comes out of the closet. And that's the biggest changes in characters that I can mention from the top of my mind. That's not good enough. I personally only care for 2 of the characters. Rick Armstrong, Patty's crush and Bob Armstrong's son. And Nani, Patty's best friend. I really cared more for her story. Patty wasn't a likable character at all. Not that she have to be, but I'm just saying. So, on that point, on that note, I agree with you. But I could never agree on it being fat shaming. But with that said, does it really have to be something you can relate to all the way? I mean, is it necessary to have this great connection to a character? No, I don't think you need to care on a deep level for a character in a show, as it is mainly meant for entertainment, and this is a comedy genre, so wouldn't it be enough to just have some fun then? I mean, I like the satire in the show, and I did laugh a few times, so it can't have been that bad. The show takes up some serious topics that people just don't like to talk about due to how sensitive they are when they do not agree, or it gets too personal, I guess. It takes up the whole thing of being treated differently because of your weight class, and it does so with satire and laughter. I'd say it's just another way to push the conversation forward and take it away from being taboo, so really respect for that, to be honest. I can't... Yeah, that's my honest opinion. The creators of the show didn't really have these bad intentions with the whole thing. They didn't make it to be fat shaming. Actually, when I have watched interviews, it seems like they actually care for it on some pretty deep level. It's some deep S word, man. not SL word, but SH word, you know? And especially Debbie Ryan actually seems to connect to this Patty character on some level. It is interesting, as I have never seen her like that. But I can say though that this show, Fatty Patty, has changed my perspective of Jessie from the show on Disney Channel. Okay, I'm getting off track again. It's time to rate the show. I always rate movies from 1 to 10 stars, and to be honest, I have been walking a bit back and forth with this one. I honestly had a hard time deciding. I've been going like 6, 7, but in reality I think I'll have to go with a 6.5 stars. I mean, it was slow, but it wasn't bad. It was vague. Is that the right way to pronounce that word? But it was also funny. So that's my point. 6.5 stars is what I'm going to rate this show. And if you agree or disagree, whatever it is, just let me know in the comments down below. So that's been all for this time, guys. Insatiable, check. You're welcome to subscribe. Check out my review on 13 Reasons Why if you want to. It's up to you, man. If you haven't had a good time, I hope you'll get it. Have a good day. Have a good night. Whatever it is.